So this is going to be your first video to kind of introduce the idea of a flipped classroom. I know a lot of you are going to be asking a lot of questions about what this is, and maybe your parents are going to as well. And so this is going to be your first taste about how you can get information at home while still learning in class and building on what you do at home. So this is my website, and this is Mr. Davies. I know there's going to be a few of you joining from Mrs. Slentz's class, so you'll have to verify with her if there's anything that I say that she might have said something a little bit different. Then you'll want to make sure that you're following her rules as well. So this is my website, and I just wanted to show you on the left-hand side there's something called Flipped Classroom. And I'll show you how to get to here in a second, but I just wanted to make sure that you were aware that there's information on my website about what a flipped classroom is. There's a little video here that kind of explains it. And then there's this very large graphic that gives you a lot of really good information. So it might be something that you want to show to your parents or guardians, and that way they can get a feel for what it is that we're trying to do here. So first off, you're going to want to try to find my website, right? And there's a lot of different ways that you can get here. So let's just go to Google for a second, or you can go to wherever. And what I'm going to do, probably the easiest way to get here is just to Google my name, Kendrick Davies. Notice how, look, there I am, and my beautiful wife. The very first thing that you see right there is my website. Okay, it's a Google site, so here we go, and now you're there. The very front of the website gives you a word of the week. I have a hard time updating that every week, but you'll see it change throughout the year. And then down here, there's going to be some general announcements that may be for every class, and then some specific announcements that go for the different classes that I teach. So you want to get to a place where you're going to watch a video. Well, that's going to be a part of your homework assignments over here on the left-hand side. So you'll click on Homework Assignments. Notice how I do teach quite a few classes. So you're going to be AP Physics 1. Of course, there's going to be a few people that are going to come in here for AP Physics 2. If you click on just AP Physics 1, all it's going to do is take you to those announcements that you saw coming on the front page. So I'm going to click back. You'll want to click on the Physics Videos. So Physics Videos underneath AP 1. So you'll see AP Physics 1 videos. And look, there's a video that you would be watching. And maybe this is the video that you're watching right now. All right, and then notice how there are some questions underneath that you will go through and answer whenever you have finished watching the video. Another way that you can get to my website, and this might be beneficial if you're just trying to get to the one page that has my video on it, there's a tiny URL that I've made, so it's tinyurl.com. Notice how I'm tinyurl.com, and then you can do slash and do SHS, AP, well, you can see I've already done it, AP1 videos, and if you're AP2, then you do AP2. So you can do that, and that will take you straight to the page that has the video on it. Okay, you can bypass all that, but that's something a little bit different, a different way to get to it anyway. Then there's always typing in the entire URL, and probably none of you will do it, but I'm going to go ahead and show it to you anyway. It's sites.google.com/site, no S, /Sherman HS Physics, and you hit enter, and that should take you to my home page. And of course you could do more after that to try to get to the AP1. I seriously doubt any of you are going to do that, but that is something that you can do. So if we go back to the AP1 videos, this video is posted on YouTube and is just embedded into this website. So that means you can always find my videos on YouTube. In fact, if you go to YouTube, again, you can search for my name. Of course, I'm logged in under me, but you can search for my name. There we go. And you notice there's a couple of videos that have popped up. So that, look, there's my channel, and then you can see these are the videos that you're going to be watching throughout the year. Now, I wouldn't suggest going in to YouTube for everything, because I change videos from year to year, so everything I've ever done is posted on YouTube, but the specific video that you might be watching may be new to this year. So the idea of a flipped classroom is that you're going to watch videos at home and then come into class with a little bit of background knowledge, and we can build off of that. So you do the easy stuff at home, the stuff that maybe you don't need me for, and then when you fill out this form after you've watched it, it's going to look slightly different for you because I'm actually logged in with the Google site, but you're going to put in your last name, first name, and then answer these questions that are down below it. And basically what that's going to show me is whether you got the material, and if you have any questions, there's always going to be a place for you to ask questions. Then we can cover some of those questions when you get to class the next day. So that's the idea of a flipped classroom. There's a ton of other stuff that's on my website that you can see here, places where I put some notes, or the Remind 101 service that we are going to be using, and I think Mrs. Slentz is going to be using it as well, but I think she's going to have her own, not mine. So, but for my classes, you can take a look here. Extra credit, you're going to want to check with Mrs. Slentz whether she wants you to do what I do or not, but you can find some information about extra credit, some of the projects that we've done in the past, things like that. So there's tons of things here that you can use to get information about my class. Another thing I want to go over is going to be just the syllabus. I'm not going to do a whole lot in class over the syllabus. I'm sure you've already figured that out, but you are going to be held responsible for everything in here. So the first few things, of course, don't panic. This is a little bit of a hard class, but you guys can all do it. You have some materials here that I do want you to get. Notice how it says the graphing calculator is not necessary. It's highly recommended, but it's not necessary. And in fact, the way that the AP curriculum is now set up, we may or may not actually be using calculators very much. But again, it's something very useful, especially when we are analyzing graphs and things like that. You can see the grading policies right here. It is still a 70-30 kind of split. I just break the 70 and 30 up a little bit more than what you're probably used to in other classes. And of course, there is ideas about tutoring. You can do tutoring with me before or after school most days. I do have Skype tutoring available. You can check with me on that. There's some information about the Remind 101 service. And then just some basic things, assignments, absences. I don't accept late work at all unless you're absent. Then of course, I have to accept late work. But I do abide by the school policy, which is you have one more day beyond the number of days that you were absent. So if you were absent for 1 day, then you have 2 days to get back your work. But do know that in class we're going to be blowing and going. So if you are missing work and using those 2 days to get that late work back to me, then you're going to be behind. Some issues or some things about bell work. More often than not, I'm going to have some stuff on the board whenever you come in to get your work in. So you're going to want to make sure you have 2 minutes after the bell to get this done. You're going to make sure that you get to my class as soon as possible. Labs and projects. We're going to be doing labs most weeks, and probably most labs we're going to have some kind of formal lab write-up in a composition notebook. That's part of the materials list. You have projects. We do like to do major projects throughout the year. And then these are just some of my rules. Be on time, course, late work not accepted. These are some of the more general rules that I'm sure a lot of teachers have. Cheating is unacceptable. And then the last ones are a little bit more kind of for me. In physics, we do physics. There are going to be some times that maybe you have downtime, and if you have downtime, then if you finished everything that you've already done in class, then I don't care if you work on other things. But if we are in the middle of a lab and you are working in a group and you're sitting there doing your history homework, then I will take it up and throw it in the trash. So please don't make me do that. I really don't want to be mean. So just make sure that in physics we're doing physics. And then this one's a little fun one that I like to throw in there. This is you can throw trash at your own risk. So if you want to throw trash at the trash can, that's completely fine. But if you miss it, right there, if you miss it, then you're going to have a 30-minute detention to be served with me before or after school. So throw trash at your own risk. And I am open to double or nothing type situations. So here's just a word from the instructor. I think this is an old one, so that date is not exactly true, unless I've updated. I don't know. Maybe I have. But it is an AP test that we're going to be taking in May. It's usually that first week. So this is just a little bit of information saying, hey, we're going to be trying to do as much as we can to prepare you for this test. And that means that we're going to be doing lots with a little amount of time that we have. Of course, this is something that I would like for you to sign, get your parents to sign, all that, just to acknowledge that you know what's going on. And then this part comes back to me. So that is what we have for our first video, just an intro to my class, AP Physics 1 or 2 or C. There's a few of you taking C. And then a little bit of astronomy as well. So I hope everyone has fun this year. I know I'm going to have a lot of fun, and I will see you guys tomorrow.